Hey YouTube, this is the Art of Prepping. We're talking about today barter items for basically SHTF events that endure longer than 3 months. Typically between the 1 to 3 months, people that don't have resources are really starting to go bananas, if you will. Especially those who smoke and drink, have any kind of addiction problems. In fact, those people, it'll show up probably within days or weeks. They'll start to be crawling out of their skin. The ones that you're going to have to watch out the most, though, are on prescription medicines. When they run out of their supply of prescription medicines, you got to be very careful, guys, because these people are going to be erratic. Their body chemistry and their chemical makeup in their brain is going to be very much off kilter. So we're going to have to be very careful. But for those people that we can rationally have a barter, a transaction between each other that's going to be safe to do such. Here are some items to maybe consider. I personally have a very comprehensive list. I don't want to go through the entire list of my own. I don't want to compromise my own type of cash for these type of barter items. But I will tell you firsthand, though, that these are going to be some items that I would say that these might have a little bit more priority than some others. Definitely, I'm not saying that there aren't other really good ones out there. I'm just saying you might want to check these out. First one is alcohol. We just talked about people are going to have addictions, but alcohol also has medicinal properties and disinfectant properties. Cigarettes, there's nothing really good with cigarettes at all, but once again, if you have someone that's completely having a fixed problem and they're willing to trade something of value that you really need for a pack or two of cigarettes, go for it. You may not even want to store cigarettes, but if you have a very, very dry, or maybe a container that is very dry that's going to be resistant to moisture or humidity, things like that, maybe even like a pouch of dry tobacco leaves so that someone can roll their own cigarettes. That could be another option, but to store some of these things could be a little bit more of a challenge unless you have special environments or situations to do such. The next would be first aid supplies. This would also include first aid manuals. The supplies is going to be more than just bandages and ointments. You're going to probably want to look at a little bit more deeper, because in deep, SHTF situations, people aren't going to come to you looking for a Band-Aid most time. They're going to be looking for like real heavy trauma items. So consider that. Seeds. Now, at the 3-month mark, people are going to realize that, okay, if it hasn't been better by then, we've got a longer stay probably ahead of us. So we're going to have to, have some forethought and plan ahead about what we're going to do for food in the near future. Seeds is going to be a way to go. Seed banks, seed vaults. Very good idea. Batteries. I think that most people within a few weeks of a major power outages are going to run through their batteries. Most people probably don't have more than a few weeks worth of batteries stashed around. And a lot of people these days have a lot of pretty much almost all their batteries. And I have a mix of these, but they're rechargeable. And if they can't recharge them, you're in deep poo-poo. So if you don't have a solar system or a way to charge your batteries, you may want to have a stash to barter with that are alkaline based. I would stay away from any of the zinc or any other crappy batteries. Get the highest quality alkaline, the freshest ones possible. The next one will be food. That's a given. It would have water purifiers or filters. You can't have enough of those. Flashlights. I'd have some really high efficiency LED, very compact flashlights and headlamps. I'd probably go with the headlamps first and then handheld flashlights. I'd go with, like I say, single or double cell at the most. I wouldn't do too much of a complicated nature with the, the flashlights. Especially the smaller, the form factor can be more easily stored in your cache or cache. The next one would be candy. People are going to have some major, and I mean major, sugar fixes and withdrawals. And so, candy, you can probably even keep some of this in like a refrigerator and rotate it out and just give some things away just to keep it fresh. Probably one of the more difficult thing is going to be chocolate to store long term. It's typically a 3 to 6 month type of storage item. After that, it kind of can go bad. So chocolate, mainly because they have a lot of milk in it. That's the milk in the dairy is what really makes it go bad the fastest or quicker than other candies. But chocolate is going to be in demand. I mean, talking about people are going to be fighting over it. And so you may get a premium over your chocolate. The next thing would be fuel, all kind of fuel, propanes, butanes, diesel, regular gasoline, blah, blah, blah. It's all there. You can't have enough of any of it. Basic tools. I mean, your files, your saw blades, axes, sledgehammers, bolt cutters. It goes on and on. Whatever you want to do. Just don't forget your nails and screws and any kind of extra screwdrivers and maybe like roofing hammers. Very, very essential. Tape. Gorilla tape, duct tape, you can't go bad with those. Have multiple rolls. Just remember though, every 2 to 3 years though, you need to rotate them out because they expire. You know, the adhesive does break down. So keep them in a cool, dark place to get the most life out of your Gorilla tape or any duct tape. A rope and chain. Rope, man, paracord, it could be all kind of cording. I mean, it just never ends, never ends. I think nylon is pretty good though overall. It does resist UV light and rot pretty well. Chain, if you're gonna get chain, get real chain. Don't, you know, maybe get some security grade chain. So if you're gonna be securing something, you don't want someone with the bolt kind of to come up right behind you and just cut it right off. You want some hardened freaking steel chain. Okay, next thing will be padlocks to go with that chain. After that, of course, the padlocks, you know, we've had a real basic little primer on that. I may have to go in more detail. I just didn't want to show my padlocks. You should go with higher security padlocks, okay? You know, Abus, Abloy. Just you look it up. You'll find, get some good padlocks. Don't be getting these nickel and dime, $10, $20 little deals over at Walmart. Okay, in closing here, we got common ammunition calibers. You can't go wrong with that. Everybody's going to need a hunt. Everybody's going to have self-protection means and needs. So yeah, 22, 9mm, 223, 5.56, 7.62, and 308, and maybe even, you know, 30-06 possibly. I mean, you know, so consider these, at least those. The next one would be a homestead resource. It could be a library, it could be books. You know, it could just be pamphlets or magazines or articles. Have some resources, at least some extra as well, so you can, you know, barter with them. And I think this is going to be my last one, just to kind of course, this is not inclusive. I'm just trying to make a short list off of my main list, just to help you guys out. Livestock. And this, it could be anything from like bunnies or rabbits. As you can tell, I'm around kids. You know, rabbits. Yeah, you know, birds. You know, chickens. Those are pretty much one of the most excellent, in my opinion, chickens. And then rabbits probably. And then if you have more land and open area, you know, cattle. Cattle's going to be a way to go. Of course, you're going to have to protect those cattle. So having a couple good guard dogs and the ability to watch over them, because people might want them. They might look at your cows and see big hamburgers. So protect your animals. As always, thanks for watching.